What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, taking a look again at this branded Dark Magician deck. So those 25th century rares are coming out, and I really like Dark Magician's cards when I saw it. So I thought I'd like to revisit this. Maybe I'll buy the card. Well, I definitely am going to buy the card, but it'd be kind of cool to build a deck around that card in real life, to build a Dark Magician deck, because I don't really have one, but this is kind of inspiring me too. But I don't know. I'm going through the deck and revisiting and doing lots of different versions. I think skill drain's kind of like a must. Maybe not in the main deck, but in the side, because you have to play like these really high impact cards, like Dark Ruin or more, and evenly matched to give yourself a chance going second. But if you know you're going first, then you can just change those out for skill drain, because this card wins you so many duels. And once you get this loop going, this circle and skill drain loop, like you win the duel like most of the time. But if you're going second, it doesn't really do much at all. So I think you should leave it to the side. It's fun. It's definitely a fun deck. I just think there's something missing. Like I have like a little bit more of a combo heavy version of it, where I just side in skill drain, so you're kind of see these. The rest of them, I don't think I use skill drain at all. And this is the thing though, when it comes to skill drain, is like so many, like your opponent can just imperm you and just can't do anything, right? You have to get so much going into these loops. Like it's still so hard to get all of this. Like Magician's Combination is like really one of the best pieces of support it's had in a long time, right? It's an Omni Negate. It's a constant loop that can trigger Circle, but it's hard to get Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl out. There's bond between teacher of student, but you have to have so many things go right at the same time. So even though Dark Magician does have so much support, like it definitely still needs more. This was a great addition to help with consistency, but it's just not there yet. It's almost like Circle and Eternal Soul need to be combined into one card. Like that would make a really big difference, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and normal summon Rod, go for Dark Magical Circle, see if I can get anything off the top. Might as well go for Nadir Servant first. Draw deeper into my deck, see what I can grab. Garua can go ahead and draw me one. Draw into another Nadir Servant. That's great. I blink off the top, which is a bit unfortunate. This is a really small engine. It's like 3 Nadir Servant plus Maximus, 1 Ecclesia, and Fleur. But there is like the amount of things that you can throw into your graveyard and get like a bunch of beneficial effects, especially if you need to see Fallen or a branded fusion. You could go for branded opening, but it kind of feels weird. You're just gonna minus, to bring out like Albion or a Luber, excuse me, and then what if you open it in your hand, you have Rod too? So it just kind of feels like this does a little bit more, especially going second, being able to send Elder and all that. He goes for Dark Ruin no more. It's okay. Like literally there are no effects to be activated on the field, so he's just kind of saving me life points here. I do have 2 forms of interruption. That's about as good as I could do. So I have Wind Pegasus, and I also have Fleur in my hand. I think he banishes that. That's fine. He's going to go for Branded Beast here. Okay. He's going to swap that out for White Dragon Wyvern Burster. I do have that Wind Pegasus, and people always forget. This is one of the most underrated cards. I love playing it, my Maximus engine. I really do try it every time if I can. I'm going to go ahead and negate Striker Dragon. Just figured if he doesn't have access to tutors, his end board's probably going to be significantly worse. He's going to go to the battle phase. I'm going to hold on to Wind Pegasus, because nothing is, here is really worth shuffling back. He's going to special summon Rod. That doesn't really do anything, though. I think he's locked into Dark, so, no access code talk or anything. Alright, I can grab Magician Souls, probably shuffle back that Dark Magician. That way I can just send it in just a second anyways. But, yeah, this Nadir Servant's crazy. Lets you, add back from Graveyard, too. He's going to go ahead and pop, and I was like, okay, I'm going to, pop the Branded Beast. That way, he's basically forced to use it to destroy all my cards, and I don't know what his back row is, but I don't want to deal with it, especially if it's like an Imperm or something. So I was able to just kind of work through everything. I'm going to go ahead and, bring out Dark Magician, banish this. Circle's not the problem. I do think it's Eternal Soul, truly. And especially if we can get, in the future, if Konami releases, better spells and traps for Dark Magician, just really aren't that many, good ones. Or they at least need one that you search that like does more for the setup, like Foolish Burial, Dark Magician, and set Eternal Soul or something like that. I don't know. It's like 3 moving pieces for just 1 targeting banishment every turn. So cool, you know, like the Dogmatica stuff really does work, you know, with Albaz, which makes sense. Like the lore is like very combined. You rarely see that, but being able to send, you know, a Luber and then or Albion and being able to, you know, end phase add Branded Fusion just to kind of get a kickstart on your next turn is like really good follow up. I think that's what makes that engine like so just like worth playing. This is against Goaty. So like here, like this is like truly the problem. Like I can normal summon Rod and like a Bond Between Teacher and Students, very good card, but I really have no way to access Dark Magician and like to get Dark Magician on the field. Or Magician Souls is really the only way to do that turn 0, and that's not good. So it's just gonna kind of be stuck in my hand. He's gonna go for E-Tally, Psy Reflector. Kind of interesting, a little engine to use there. I think he even plays the trap, but he needs it to be like a level 7. It's just such a bricky engine. I can't imagine it's worth it, but I don't know. I've never played Goaty before. He's going to bring that back. I think he goes into this level 6 one, so he can, you know, banish Light of the Goaty. That brings itself out during the draw phase here, or standby phase, excuse me. So I'm just going to go for Dark Ruler, right? Don't want him to banish my entire field. Normal summon Rod. It's usually like a pretty good Ash bait when it comes to, you know, not leading with Branded Fusion, which is like if they knew you had Branded Fusion, of course they'd wait till you use that. Okay, I can go into Dragoon. That way I have a pop. I can, you know, get over his whole field here. Go for Nadir Servant, pop the field spell because it's really, really good. Go for Maximus. We can send 2 to the graveyard. So I'm going to get follow-up, and I'm going to get 1 interruption with Fleur, because I do have Dragoon here as well. I could have sent Wind Pegasus, I guess, but I think this works just a little bit better. Let's see what happens here. He's going to normal summon. Yeah, the field spell recurs itself, but again, it's like it is really, really good. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and negate that. Kind of forcing him to be like, okay, can you get over this 4,000 attack body that, you know, you can't target or destroy with card effects? We'll see. He did take it. You know, he's going to get over Maximus, you know, get over this, but he's going to give it back to me. There's not really much you can do with it. And I have Branded Fusion, so I just, you know, a lot of pressure on my opponent there. It's so great, especially when the good thing is like about this lot of engine pieces, right, that you want to put back in the deck, and you know, Illusion of Chaos solves so many of those problems because you want to keep it in your hand. You don't necessarily want to send it back into the deck because it helps you search every single turn for cards that you're going to need. All right, this was like a really interesting duel, and actually he ended up quitting, but I wanted to showcase the end. I don't know if I would have won. It looked favorable, but well, I'll show you. So he's going to go for Pearly. Definitely just like rising its way up the competitive ladder pretty quick. The last pieces of support definitely did change everything. I know you can draw a bunch of cards, right? There's the one that lets you draw in the standby phase, and then it's like unaffected by all card effects. So you have a lot to work through. I do have a decent hand, again, Bond Between Teacher and Student. Like I really want this card to be used because it is so good, right? Destroying all of your opponent's cards, and it is going to come up in this duel. So I just think if they can morph the support of what this does, or maybe even just make a Link 1 for Dark Magician, that can help you like Foolish Burial, Dark Magician, or special summon it from the deck. Something cool like that. He's going to set up his plays here. So he's going to go for Beauty, and then he's going to go for Leerless Ensemble Robin. I'm going to start here. He's going to go for Ash. Of course, that's the last card in his hand. I'm going to go for Dark Magical Circle. I find Servant off the top. I can go for Lubellion, and then he's going to go ahead and shuffle that back. That's fine. Most of the time they do, thinking like I'm not going to have any targets, but of course I'm just trying to fusion summon the 2 in the graveyard, and there's not really anything your opponent can ever do to stop that. Now basically this can't do anything. This targets, He does get to add 2 quick play spells. I figure I'm fine as long as I can stop him or prevent him maybe only to going into one of his XYZs. I'm going to go for Ecclesia. He does have Imperm there. Okay. I think I hold on. Yeah, I do hold on to it because, I mean, I could, send Soul Servant. That's fine to have in the graveyard, but what else would I discard this turn? I kind of need these 2 cards for my follow-up. And that'd be another great thing for the new Dark Magician support if, like, it kind of worked with Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. It kind of needs its own, like, Dark Magician fusion. I know there's a few fusion cards in Dark Magician, but they're so buns. It needs to have a branded fusion type effect. Because, I don't know, like, branded fusion is just the best available option. But I think there could be one that was, like, specifically better. It'd be nice not having to play, like, Albaz, which is just kind of bricky in your hand. Alright, he's got 3 bodies, but these are all hard ones per turn. The XYZ summoning. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of 1. And now it's like a 4,000 attack body that, can't be targeted. This is actually unfortunate because he's going to be able to attack a bunch of times. And there's nothing much I can do about it because this can't be destroyed by monsters from the extra deck. That gives him an extra attack, so he's going to go ahead and get over the Dragoon, which lets him add another card, and he gets to attack again, which is not great. Yeah, up to thrice per turn. Very interesting. It's cool to see the way like this deck plays. Like when I first played it, I was so bad, and it's just interesting to see like how the deck has evolved. But when I did most of my testing, that was before the really good one came out that was unaffected by card effects. So that obviously just changes the way that the deck's played. Well, I do have 3 good cards in my hand, especially Bond between teacher and student. I know that can probably pressure out a lot. I don't think he has any hand traps necessarily, so I think it's just me against this big towers type guy. I'm going to bring out Dark Magician, banish the field spell. And there we go. Now I have Dark Burning Magic. I think he's going to, try to shuffle that back, which is interesting. Kind of helped me out because now I have a chance basically because this isn't doing anything for real. And this is where he quit, which is really unfortunate, but I did summon this, and I wanted to showcase this at least once, because it's something I have in the deck. It's Master of Chaos, so if this card is fusion summoned, you can target 1 light or dark monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You contribute 1 light and dark monster, banish all monsters your opponent controls. If this fusion summon card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand, so pretty cool to be able to have that as follow-up, obviously. So he's going to, shuffle this back, so it's not going to be destroyed. But I do get to bring back Dark Magician. Or if he doesn't, go for Master of Chaos, I'm going to be able to banish his field anyways, because he's going to go for the shuffle effect here. And again, if I bring back Dark Magician, now my Super Raigeki is online, where I destroy all of his card effects, and that only has 5, cards as material, so it is effective by cards now. So I do think that as I've been playing this, that like something I've noticed is like the power of Dark Magician. I think the direction that I hope it goes in is the fusion stuff. There's so many fusion versions, but it's really hard to bring out most of those fusion guys, which is obviously a major problem. And look, this guy's just playing like pure stun. But I do have Dark Ruler no more, which is nice. Yeah, there can be only 1. This deck doesn't really actually care about that at all. Like this is also kind of a stun deck in a sense. I'm going to go ahead and, bring out Magician Souls. I can set Eternal Soul. Probably draw a couple cards here. Also have Branded Fusion. Top deck of Dark Magician and Evenly Matched. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and banish those 2. Go into Mirror Jade. Non-targeting banishment. He does banish this Titan Clad, but that's fine. So I thought that was kind of neat. Like he had Solon on him. He had There Can Be Only One. He had a Dragoon up. And the Dark Ruler more obviously helped me a lot in that situation, but I was able to fight through the other ones, and those floodgates don't really do anything, because this is also sort of like a floodgatey type deck that can, play around a lot. So those are like my thoughts right now. I do want to make a list soon, or like my official list. I'll post it on the channel. I just want to mess around with it a little bit more, because I feel like there's just something I'm missing that can make this significantly better. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll take out some of these like engines, like Dark Magician Girl. We'll see, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.